College of Engineering and Physical Sciences. Tuesday, 15th of July, 2025, 12:30 p.m. Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham, an institution steeped in discovery and research since 1900. The University of Birmingham was the UK's first civic university, a place designed for everyone, not just the privileged few. Every one of our graduands today is a part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, these events are the highlight of the university calendar and represent for many students the conclusion of their studies at Birmingham. Originally built as a cathedral to learning, the Great Hall never fails to impress our visitors. The building is Grade 2 listed, and it's really the details that make the space so special. It features a trompe-l'oeil domed ceiling located above its formal marble entrance. The entrance is bordered by archways that are designed to draw the eye towards the centre of the room. The music you can hear is being performed by our very own student musicians. They often perform versions of modern pop hits or songs with a Birmingham connection. As our graduands wait for the ceremony to start, this is a time for them to reflect on how far they've come. They may think back to the first lecture they attended in a packed lecture hall, making friendships that will last a lifetime. Maybe they're thinking back to their first eureka moment, when their chosen field of study finally clicked into place. Or perhaps they're thinking about late-night debates in the guild, that group project that pushed them to their limits, or the spark of inspiration when they saw their research was really making an impact. Today they close one chapter and open another. A degree from the University of Birmingham is more than just a name on a certificate. Our graduates are recognised by employers for their resilience, creativity, and dedication. Soon, they'll find many exciting opportunities waiting for them. A quick shout out to the staff, students and volunteers who have made this special day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, a reminder to share your photos from today on social media. Make sure to tag our accounts so we can engage with your moment. The audience is a mixture of graduands who sit in the back of the hall and their loved ones who are seated near the stage. During the ceremony, the graduands will make their way up to the stage, accept their scroll, and be applauded by their families and fellow students. In the sea of formal robes in the ceremony, attendees may spot black gowns, red and green gowns, and possibly some other eye-catching colours. The black robes are worn by those graduating with their bachelor's and master's. Green and red robes are for those picking up a doctorate degree. To the families, friends and supporters watching from home today, Your encouragement, pep talks, and well-timed cups of tea have helped our graduates reach this day. Let's take a moment to appreciate the parents who still don't quite understand what their child studied, but are immensely proud regardless. Well done, everyone. You've earned this celebration. Soon, our ceremony will begin. There's a degree of pomp and circumstance to the day that echoes back through the years. These rituals connect our graduands today to students from the very first British universities formed in the 13th century. This procession isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. It's the university's way of honouring the past, affirming the authority of scholarship, and marking the threshold our graduands are about to cross. Now it's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by two mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation, students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
Good afternoon, everyone. I declare the congregation open.
So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the University of Birmingham. It's wonderful that you've been able to join us here today. As Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of the College for Engineering and Physical Sciences, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you, our graduates, and your friends, family and supporters to our graduation ceremony. We are all here today to celebrate the completion of your educational journey, with all the ups and downs of study and all of the ups and downs of university life that it will have entailed. But you did it, so congratulations to all of you. So this is the moment that you've been working towards. To get here, you will have spent time exploring new ideas, experiencing the thrill of intellectual discovery. You may have had coffee-fueled debates with your fellow students during late-night study sessions. You may have tackled seemingly insurmountable problems and overcome them. You may think that you've only been here to study your academic discipline that you're passionate about, but you'll have learnt so much more on the way. You'll have learnt about perseverance, about balancing work and play, and about the value of friendship and community. All of these lessons are ones that you'll carry with you long after you leave this hall. Many of you will now be leaving education behind and readying yourselves to dive into the real world. But I urge you not to lose the spark of curiosity that you've nurtured during your studies. Keep listening to that voice in your head that says, go on, have a look, see what's out there. And keep asking why, how, and what if. Keep seeking out new knowledge. This will lead you in the direction of the best of adventures and will provide you with rich stories to tell. Today is an especially meaningful day, as we're not only celebrating a big milestone in your life, but also in the life of the university, as we mark our 125th anniversary. Together, we've been celebrating this special milestone in memorable ways. You may remember seeing Old Joe lit up in vibrant colours at the start of the year, and you might even have taken selfies in front of him with your friends. For a few months, the clock tower became a beacon of light that announced our celebration right across the city. In the spring, we reaffirmed our connection to our community by signing the Birmingham Civic Agreement, strengthening our commitment to serving the city and the region as a civic institution. And then as summer arrived, you'll have hoped we'd find time to enjoy all of the events and social activities on offer in the Green Heart, particularly as part of UOB Extra. You may also have enjoyed our Come to Campus festival and concert a couple of weeks ago. The sun shone down on thousands of students, alumni, staff, and our neighbours who all came together to celebrate our anniversary. It was a day of discovery, from exploring the Lapworth Museum of Geology and the Winterbourne House and Garden, to experiencing the cutting-edge research that really defines our university. And then in the evening, under the open sky, the university's Philharmonic and Jazz Orchestras, alongside special guest performers, delivered a powerful tribute to Birmingham's rich musical heritage, from the elegance of Elgar right through to the electric spirit of ELO. It was a celebration that was proudly Brummie and unmistakably ours. And it was also a reminder that this university has always been more than building and books. It's the people who really bring it to life. I'm genuinely proud to be standing here on behalf of a university where inspirational people do inspirational things, and where every day we have the ability to change lives for the better. Today, I'm inspired by what you all have achieved. But let's also take a moment to acknowledge those who've played a crucial role in your achievements to date. Behind me are just some of our university community who've encouraged your intellectual curiosity, nurtured your creativity, and inspired you to question and explore. You'll also have been supported by tutors, student support teams, people in labs, and otherwise. And so I invite you now to thank everyone who's supported you during your time here. Sitting in front of me and tuning in from all corners of the globe are your friends, families, and supporters, armed with tissues and cameras and iPhones, brimming with pride for all that you've achieved. You'll all have that person or those people who had faith in you, the people who supported you and showed you kindness, and without whom you wouldn't be here. So graduates, let's give a round of applause and a huge cheer to say thank you to all of your supporters and to the people who made it possible. So soon you'll be coming up onto the stage and Sandy Okoro, the Chancellor, will admit you to your degree. This is your moment. When your name is read out, that's your graduation. Family and friends, that's your cue to make a lot of noise. So some final advice. Please do be careful on the steps. Give a big smile for the cameras. And most of all, don't forget to save it your moment. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Neil Champness. I'm the head of the School of Chemistry. Chancellor, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my programme, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in their absence, to the degree to which they are to be presented.
From the School of Chemical Engineering, the degree of Doctor of Engineering, for research into the repair of fractures following traumatic injuries, Miruna Chipara. For research into the control of the liquid microstructure during the processing of beauty and personal care products, Grace Ellie Cunningham. For research into the use of additives to improve the stability of high-energy density battery electrode materials, Joanna Maria Galantowicz. For research into the use of machine learning and computational fluid dynamics to optimise design of complex fluid mixers, Roberto Hart-Villamil. For research into the development of barrier coatings using microfibrillated cellulose, Robin Sarah Spencer Hill. For research into the tactile perception based on skin tribology, Laura Kyriazis. For research into continuous measurement and modelling of the efficacy of different designs of static mixers, Thomas Robinson. For research into new nanomaterials and application from viral and graphene building blocks, Kate Louise Stokes. For research into the extrusion of ceramic pastes, Marcin Pavel Simacek. For research into development of sustainable consumer products with excellent performance, Ting Zhang. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for research into biotribology using acoustic emission, Catligo Hamilton Jeffrey Balamo. For research into continuous purification of protein biotherapeutics, Alex James Breen. For research into additive manufacture of porous bone implants, Xu Chao. For research into the use of evidence in net zero policy making, Lawrence Duncan. For research into the manufacture of RNA-based medicines, Lauren Faye Garbett. For research into microscopic gel for the development of viscosupplementation, Roxana Guillen de la Cruz. for research into the development of in vitro small-scale experimental and computational models to improve the diagnosis of vascular conditions caused by trauma, Stephanie Marie Hallam. For research into electrochemical methods for metal recovery and deposition, Molly Emma Keel. For research into the transition metal dichalcogenides as hydrogen evolution electrocatalysts, Shiamo Manyapedza. For research into an integrated system of renewable energy storage and carbon capture, Kazim Ayadeji Mohammed. For research into control of the size of silver nanoparticles in microscale reactors, Konstantia Nathaniel. For research into improving recombinant protein production in E. coli, Alexander David Osgerby. For research into antimicrobial medical alloys, Daisy Lily Adonia Rabbit. For research into spectroscopic device for management of traumatic brain injuries, Clarissa Angela Strickland. For research into the integration of magnetic and biological materials to replicate tendon and cartilage tissue, Abigail Louise Wright. For research into electrolyte electrode interface to improve protein exchange membrane fuel cells, Sam Erdley. For research into improving the performance of low-temperature fuel cells, Oliver Fernerhoff. For research into conversion of wet algal biomass to hydrogen using green advanced sustainable processes, Kieran Harry James Healy. For research into more robust and higher performing polymer membranes for fuel cells, Ahmed Ibrahim. For research into waste heat recovery and utilisation in fuel cells powered hybrid trains, Marco Pignatoro. For research analysing the use of high-temperature fuel cells on heavy goods vehicles, Marcus Alexander Taylor. For the degree of Master of Science, Advanced Chemical Engineering, Ritek Satish Bedse. For the degree of Advanced Chemical Engineering with Healthcare Technology, Kayan Zi. For the degree of Food Safety, Hygiene and Management, Thrishal Ranu Sanchu. For the degree of Fuel Cell and Hydrogen Technologies, Quasi Salim Mohammed Al-Gamari. Moza Ali Khalif Al-Jabri. For the degree of Healthcare Technology, Oliver Luke Dustin. and the degree of Industrial Project Management, Richard Scott Myers. The degree of Master of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, Freddie James Barter. Jasmine Chahal. Samuel Coulson. Sunil Gidda. Thomas Hughes. Terry Lim Yi Teng. Priya Rose Majavadia. Matthew McMurray. Charles Murray. Natasha Neo Suling. Alan James Pullinger. Carl Ramos. Yu Xuan Tan. Raheem Tariq. Benjamin Willis. The degree of Chemical Engineering with International Study, Sanjana Manvikar. The degree of Chemical Engineering with Industrial Study, Enia Alua Anthony Adekoya. Luca Adli Megala Shokrala. Emilman. Ajiriagene Elena Asasa. Max Daniel Ashton. Samuel John Baker. Zoe Page Beresford. Erin Maria Budge. Mohammed Oais Butt. Hannah Natalie Clegg. Evan James Howitt Cunningham. Isabel Charlotte Davies. Zahir Dixon Suter. Omar Taher Meher El-Ashri. Tianju Go. Iona Impey. Robert David Wen Rui Kingham. Kevol Korea. Harry Lee Payton. Jason Limbu. Oliver Marshall. Jem George Savin. Hamad Shafi. Miranda Hewell Thompson. Connor Patrick Tierney. Benjamin Tucker. Callum Walsh. James William White. Matthew Mark Whiting. Maggie Wood. Owen Young. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Chemical Engineering, Katie Adams. Gavin Baines. Jayesh Chauhan. Daniel James Ferguson. Amar Masood. Pedro Palma Duarte. Medina Zafar Sheikh. Jordan Shodende. Fabian Surah Atmaja. Kara Yigit. The degree of Chemical Engineering Technology, Mohammed Hussein Ahmed. Bernadette Kisembo. The degree of Chemical Engineering with Industrial Study, Adam Aflaq.
So, as I mentioned earlier, this is an important year for the University of Birmingham. We're celebrating our 125th anniversary. And as a part of our exciting programme of activities and events, we've invited distinguished members of our university community to deliver a special anniversary speech. We hope that these speeches will guide, inspire and entertain you. Each speaker is the recipient of a 125th anniversary award, which they're wearing with pride. This award is a beautiful brooch created by the university's research partner, Cookson Gold. This is a manufacturer based in Birmingham's famous jewellery quarter, and it's created with Cookson Gold together with its sister company, Western Bemol. So today's speaker is Professor John Warner. John is a pioneering chemist, an inventor and co-founder of the field of green chemistry, which is focused on sustainable, nature-inspired solutions. His innovations have led to companies addressing global challenges, ranging from therapies for ALS, motor neurone disease, to indoor solar technology. He's received numerous honours, including the Presidential Award for Excellence in Science Mentoring, the Perkin Medal, and the August Wilhelm von Hoffmann Medal. In 2011, he was named a Fellow of the American Chemical Society and one of Utna Reader's 25 Visionaries Changing the World. Beyond his scientific work, Professor Warner champions global green chemistry education through initiatives like Beyond Benign. He was recently appointed as an honorary professor at the University of Birmingham, and he shares a commitment to advancing sustainability and global scientific leadership. Please join me in warmly welcoming our distinguished guest, Professor John Warner, as he delivers his anniversary speech to you, the class of 2025.
Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, University of Birmingham faculty, professional staff, graduates, families, and friends. I'm sincerely honored to be asked to speak today at a university with such a well-deserved 125-year global reputation. On Sunday, as I was preparing to come here, I was rummaging, trying to find something I was looking for, and I stumbled upon an old roll of photographic film. For those not old enough to know this, there used to be a device called a camera that you couldn't text and you couldn't make a phone call, you just took a photograph. Well, it was kind of an amazing thing to be holding on to this thing. I had no idea, when did I take these photographs? How long ago was it? No idea what was on it. It was kind of a sense of excitement to know that I had this roll of film. Now, let's think about the technology here. The way this works is the chemistry and the physics. The photons of light went through a lens and projected what's called a latent image on this piece of photographic film. And it's sitting there, and there's a chemical signal, and one day I'm going to have that developed and I'm going to see the photograph. But this latent image has been hid away in some box in my house for over a decade, maybe two. And only now, years later, do I have it. And I was thinking about it, and I think that's a kind of an interesting metaphor for what we're doing here today. You know, for the last several years, students attending classes with professors, teachers, and staff have had latent images projected on their minds, knowledge into their hearts, into their maybe souls. Some of these images are ever present. Students are well aware of them. The opportunities that are going to happen for them, that have been given to them. But then there are some imprints that are going to stay hidden, only to reveal themselves some far-off day in the future. And probably like me, in my roll of film, you won't remember where did that image come from. And who knows, this inspiration might create a new viewpoint that potentially changes you and just might change the world. This is one of the hardest parts of education. Educators are often left wondering, have I made a difference? Does it matter what I do? I can promise you, it does. Years later, students will have that moment of inspiration, and the professor will probably never know it. Education isn't a career for those who are looking for instant gratification, but it's the most wonderful place for creating images that develop into acts that eventually and ultimately can change the world. Now in 2025, the world needs a bit of help. We've created technologies that are crucial to our modern civilization. Medicines to cure the sick, food technologies to feed the hungry, materials that enable people to leave the atmosphere in return. The achievements are simply amazing. But we also know that these technologies have come at a price. Open up the newspaper, turn on the radio, look on the internet. What do we hear? Economic disparities, social and environmental justice issues, environmental deterioration, serious negative impacts on human health are ever present in our world. There's a lot of troubles out there. My personal work focuses on showing that you can have affordable technologies with excellent performance that do not hurt humans and the environment, that are sensitive to who will manufacture, who will buy, who will use, and who will live in the vicinity of the manufacturing. This is the domain of green chemistry. But working in sustainability is a tough business. You get surrounded by very sad and depressing things all the time. It's hard not to despair. But I have to tell you, I'm super optimistic. Not because of me or anything that I'm doing, but because of you. You, I just have it in my heart, believe that your awareness, your generation, you will refuse to do it the wrong way. I stand here excited, not just to imagine what you'll do next. I'm sure everybody keeps asking you, what are you going to do next? Over and over again, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? Honestly, I'm excited about who you are today, who you are now. The world is a better place right now because you are in it. It's a funny thing when people say they want to save the world. Not really sure the world needs saving. But we humans in the environment can sure use a bit of help. But here's the thing. It's one thing to say I want to save the world. Whether you're a scientist, an engineer, an artist, a historian, mathematician, finance, medicine, everyone has a role to play. But you know what's more important? And something that you're already doing today? You make the world worth saving. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Again, I'm so happy to be able to play a role in today's celebrations, and I thank you for this honor. But most of all, I thank you for who you are. You and I are part of the University of Birmingham community, and I can't wait to see what develops from the latent images made here at the university. Thank you so very much, and congratulations.
Chancellor, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my programme, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees. Degree in Chemical Engineering with Industrial Study, Mohammed Aman. Viraj Chapaneri. Saiz Janjua. Anthony Okeke. Sujan Rai. Stephanie Kerin Robertson. Simran Kaur Shergill. The degree of Chemical Engineering with Industrial Study in a year in Computer Science, Ravneet Verdi. The degree of Chemical Engineering with a year in Computer Science, Simons Rabinskis. From the School of Chemistry, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for research into protection mechanism in the context of DTS and colloidal self-assembly, Benjamin Michael Allett. For research into the production and chemical recycling of bio-based polyesters for food packaging, Bij Bhatti. For research into the recycling of cathode material from spent lithium-ion batteries, Beatrice Browning. For research into the development of new chemistries targeting the methyltransferase enzymes, Stephen Coulthard. For research into quantum states of matter in metal organic framework solids, Tristan Niles Dolling. For research into sustainable polymerization method for alternative plastics, Daniele Gianantonio. For research into the synthesis of phosphorus-containing analogues of triazines and their use as ligands in catalysis, Emma Jane Jordan Rose. For research into fluorescent polymers for carbon dioxide sensing, David Andres Londono de la Cruz. For research into new lanthanide-based metal organic frameworks and their mixed metal analogues, Musa Mohammed Mahmood. For research into the materials properties and bioanalytical applications of nanopipettes, Lauren Matthews. For research into the development of inoperando imaging techniques for visualizing battery chemistry, Joseph Ugo Okeke. For research into chiral organic dye-based macrocycles, Samuel Edward Penty. For research into zeolitic ion exchange materials for the remediation of nuclear wastewaters, James Leslie Arvid Reed. For research into radical-bearing metal organic frameworks, Callum Mitchell Rosenberg. For research into the use of metal organic frameworks as separators in lithium-sulfur batteries, Georgia Louise Rowe. For research into the direct recycling of end-of-life electric vehicle lithium-ion batteries, Luke David Sweeney. For research into scaling up nanoparticle synthesis and enhancing functionality with flow reactors, Lai Hui Zhao. For research into macrocycles and retaxanes containing organic dyes, Angus Young. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with Integrated Study, for research into characterising the early mineralisation of bone, Adam John McGuinness. For the degree of Master of Science, Kimberly Ellis. Hannah Stock. For the degree of Master of Science in Chemistry, Elijah Bulch. William David Burston. Charlie George Bushby. Ryan George Carter. Chloe Elliott. Emily Grace Fee. Joanna Maria Georgiou. Hannah Elizabeth Glatter. Ella Hands. Hugh Hopkins. Harry Holton. Tamania Islam. Iman Karim. Edith Lord. Roddy John Macaulay. Oliver Rawlings. Lana Lucy Robinson. Jessica Rowe. Jessica Lauren Self. Simranjit Kaur Sidhu. Lucy Nicole Smith. Charlie Tennyson Theobald. Frederick William Thorne. Matthew Vesty. Valentina Anna Walls. Rachel Wheeler. The degree of Chemistry with a Modern Language, India Bradley. Robert Deasy. Alice Emma Ford. Francis Himsworth. The degree of Chemistry with a Modern Language and a year in Computer Science, Patrick Bartholomew Fitzsimon. For the degree of Chemistry with Industrial Experience, Kate Alexandra Anderson. Charles Bine Barrett. Finlay Garrett. Liliana Gonzalez. Ellie Harding. Benjamin Hodgson. Irvi Joshi. Sophie Georgina Kerslake. Himani Simran Mistry. Naila Nafisa Mogal. Lindsay Nuttall. Tabitha Seymour. Millie Turner. Michael Walters. The degree of Chemistry with Study Abroad, Bethan Sophie Gubb. the degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Callum Bell. Imogen Georgia Hayden Broom. Milo Carroll. Yokyung Cho. Alexander Clark. Toby Clark. Saskia Conahan. Hope Eads. James Gell. Jack Herworth. Lauren Marie Lawrence. Yishwan Liu. Dylan Parker. Florence Pearson. Benjamin Rasmussen. Isabel Smith. Arabella Sooty. Teresa Sarawoski. Tome Soli Tarragano. Tura Jem Vasib. Joe Walker. Elizabeth Rose Whitton. Amy Wong. For the degree of Chemistry with a Modern Language, Adelia Asandi. For the degree of Chemistry with Business Management, Hannah Khalil. For the degree of Chemistry with Medicinal Chemistry and Drug Discovery, Katie Beckett. And Finlay Preston. Now to present the prize winners. First of all, the Chancellor's Prize winner is Amy Wong. And the Vice-Chancellor's Prize winner and Student Representative Speaker is Eni Alua Anthony Adekoya.
Good afternoon. My name is Eniolua Adekoya, and it is an incredible honour to stand here today as this year's student speaker for the School of Chemical Engineering and the School of Chemistry. First, I want to thank God for the strength, grace and guidance that has carried me through the past 5 years. I also want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the academic staff who have supported us, challenged us, believed in us, and helped shape us into the graduates that we are today. Thank you to the entire Education Support Office for creating a culture of openness and support. To my family, thank you. You have been there for your encouragement, patience, and love. You have been the quiet strength behind every deadline, every difficult week, and every achievement. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations. Today is a celebration of everything that we've worked for, individually and together. After years of late nights, group projects, stress snacking during lectures, and possibly too many visits to the Goose, we're finally here. True to form as an engineer, when I was asked to give this speech, I decided to gather some data. This time, not for a lab report, but to try and reflect what has made our journey truly unique. Inspired by student voice, I sent out one last questionnaire for my fellow graduates to fill in. Now, our lecturers always taught us to question data, but in this case, the results were conclusive. The overwhelming theme? Community. Time and time again, people spoke about the strength of the chemical engineering community, how we supported each other, laughed through the stress, celebrated milestones, and lifted one another up when things got tough. That sense of belonging is not an accident. It is a testament to the culture created by the staff and the character of each and every graduate sat here today. When we first started this degree, many of us had no idea what we were signing up for. We heard chemical engineering and imagined lab coats, formulas, maybe saving the world through a process simulation. We didn't expect to spend hours debugging MATLAB code at midnight, wrestling with thermodynamics, or bonding over the surprise appearance of quantum mechanics in a first-year chemistry module. Many of us first met as blank squares on a Zoom screen, with nothing but our names to distinguish us. Our first year wasn't filled with packed lecture halls or welcome socials. Rather, it was spent in our bedrooms, navigating breakout rooms, dodgy Wi-Fi, and that awkward silence of online lectures. We're joined here today by fellow chemists, many of whom share the same experience of starting university during a global pandemic, far from normal. But it taught us to adapt early. We built connections through those screens. We learnt resilience in isolation, and we kept moving forward, even when everything felt uncertain. From welcome week to final year projects, the journey has not always been easy, but it has been ours. There were group projects that tested our patience, labs that tested our nerves, and exams that tested, well, everything. But there were also friendships formed, confidence built, and small wins that reminded us that we were growing, not just as engineers or chemists, but as people. We shared the stress of hand-ins, the joy of submitting final reports, and the quiet solidarity of being in a 9 a.m. lecture after a sports night, slightly confused, but still determined. Somewhere between the lectures, the deadlines, and the coffee-fueled revision sessions, we built something that goes beyond a degree. We built a community, one that will carry with us long after we leave this hall. And as we step into whatever comes next, whether that's industry, research, a well-earned break, or something completely unexpected, I know that we carry with us more than just equations and process models. Chemical engineering has never just been about pipes and plants. It's about solving real problems, from climate change to clean energy, from sustainable manufacturing to equitable access to resources. The world needs solutions. And more than that, it needs solution-minded people. We've been trained to ask questions, to stay curious, to keep refining until things work. And I believe that this will carry us far beyond any lab or lecture hall. So, as we leave here today, I hope that we walk forward, not only in pride of what we've accomplished and achieved, but with purpose, ready to contribute, to challenge, to create, and to care. Because we're not just graduates, we are problem solvers, and the world could use a few more of those. So, finally, congratulations to the class of 2025. May we move forward with courage and be that solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our student speaker. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, let me try that again. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Now, I know that some of you will have felt you could have made a little bit more noise than you did for your graduates. I'm going to give you another opportunity. Everybody want to whistle, stomp, make as much noise as you can for the class of 2025, and those online too. Off we go. I knew you had it in you. I knew you had it in you. My name is Sandy Okoro. It's my honour to be the Chancellor of the University of Birmingham. In addition to that, I was also a graduate here. I studied law and politics. So being here, presiding over these graduations is a bit like a homecoming. In addition, there have only been 8 Chancellors in the 125-year history of this marvellous university, and I'm the first female Chancellor, so it's a real privilege to be here. And I know this is a very, very special day for you, all your family, friends, supporters at the front. My son graduated last week on Thursday, and I had the honour of standing here and giving him his degree. So I know how you all feel, and it's wonderful that you're here. All the support that you have given, all the wonderful class of 2025 is truly felt. So class of 2025, I now want to ask you to show your appreciation, make some noise for all your supporters, family, friends, guardians, everyone here is for you, and the staff behind who supported you. Please make some noise for them, class of 2025. I am part of 3 generations of Okoros who've passed through this university. My mother, from the Windrush generation, studied nursing at QE. Me, from the Sony Walkman generation, did law and politics, and as I just said, my son Max, from the TikTok generation, graduated here in criminology. So, looking out at all of you, I know how proud you all are to be here today. And for all those of you who have worked, well, all of you, I hope, who worked really hard to get to where you are, I know it wasn't easy. Late nights, as you heard from our student speaker, some of you starting during COVID, this was not easy, but you are here, and you've earned the right to walk tall. And you are here at this amazing university that is a university of many firsts. It is the first civic university, founded in 1900 by Joseph Chamberlain, for whom the clock tower, Big Joe, is named. Sorry, Old Joe. Well, I just renamed it Big Joe, but its own name is Old Joe. We were the first civic university in England, founded on the belief that education is a force of public good, not just for private privilege. The first university to have a faculty of commerce. The first university to incorporate a medical school and to welcome women into to have the opportunity to take medical degrees. The first university to establish a comprehensive school, which is the University of Birmingham School. And one of my favourites, the first university to offer physical education as a degree. The university has also shaped the world. We are home to 10 Nobel Prize winners whose work has changed the world and the way we understand the world. And many inventions here. The cavity magnetron, made here at the University in Birmingham. This transformed radar technology and helped to alter the course of World War II. But in addition, it is found in every microwave oven, for which I'm sure many of us are very grateful. The airbag, invented here at the University of Birmingham, saving millions of lives on roads across the world. Pacemakers and heart valves, invented here at the University of Birmingham. And today, our labs are creating brand-breaking cancer treatments and medical advances that are changing the face of healthcare and saving lives. This university just doesn't teach history, it makes it. And my father once said to me, "Your education is something no one can take away from you." So class of 2025, you have something very special here today, something no one can ever take away from you. You will also have made friendships here. Those friendships will last for life. Those friends will prop you up when things aren't going so well and will celebrate with you when they are. So please remember your time here at the University of Birmingham. This will always be your home. We have a world-class career service, a vibrant global alumni network, so please do keep in touch. I know you're dying to get out and start on your new paths, but please remember us. You'll forever be part of the family of the University of Birmingham. And as you step into that next chapter of your lives, whatever that may be, I want to give you a few thoughts. Now, this may sound very strange, given the fact I've just given you your degrees and you've just spent a lot of money on your education, all of which, every penny, well worth it, by the way. But let me tell you this. Cleverness is overrated. We're in a room full of very brilliant people here today, but being clever on its own will not guarantee you success in life. So let me give you 5 things that I think need to sit alongside being clever. Firstly, curiosity. Never, never, never stop learning. Never stop asking questions. Never stop exploring and going beyond your comfort zone. And remember, opinion is not a fact. What is the data telling you? Where is the proof? Be your own fact checker. Albert Einstein said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." Number 2, motivation. Set your sights high. Do not let anyone put you off what your goal and your plan is in life. You will have people who will tell you, "No, you can't do that." But if you want to do it, you go for it. My mother used to say, "What someone else thinks of you is none of your business." Do not let somebody else's low estimation of you be your low estimation of yourself. Dream big, go big. Number 3, people skills. Life is not a solo act. As they say, there is no I in team. Learn to connect, learn to be compassionate, learn to be patient, and build bridges. Now, if you're not a people person, not everybody is, let this stand for perspective. The world needs thinkers and observers as much as talkers and doers. The way you see the world, your unique vision of the world, might be the very insight we need to make the world a better place. There is an African proverb that says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." And number 4, resilience. You will fall down. It will happen. It's happened to all of us. And it will happen to you too. Falling down is not a failure. The failure is not getting back up. If you fall, stay there for a little bit. Have a bit of a cry, a chocolate biscuit, or the whole packet, or whatever it is that's going to make you feel better. But get back up. And sometimes you will get a no when you want to hear a yes. But let that no be a new chapter for you. The yes would have sent you down one path that you knew and were planning for. But that no could open up all sorts of windows for you. Embrace that no. Do not think it's the end, but it is the beginning. And the last one, kindness. Kindness is not a weakness. Kindness is courage in action. Desmond Tutu said, "Do your little bit of good where you are. It is those little bit of goods put together that will overwhelm the world." So, be curious, be motivated, be a people person, or bring your perspective to the table. Be resilient and be kind. Now, you also have to dream big. You had big dreams coming to this university in the first place, but dream super big, not just the next 5 years. What's going to put you on the cover of Time magazine? What's going to help build a better world? You can do it. You are a University of Birmingham graduate. As they say, you reach for the stars and you get the moon. Now, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela, who said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." So, class of 2025, what are you capable of? What are you truly capable of? Go do it. So, class of 2025, I salute you. Go out into the world. Support one another. Be kind. Be bold. Live your dreams. And never forget your superpower is that you're a University of Birmingham graduate. Congratulations. Go change the world. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. Go be great. Thank you. I declare the congregation closed.
The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni has come to an end. The procession begins to stream out of the Great Hall, carrying with them the maces that were set down at the start of the ceremony. It's a nice bit of visual poetry that bookends the ceremony. As those maces are carried forward, so too are our graduates onto their next adventure. This is a powerful moment for our graduates, representing the culmination of years of dedicated study. The education, connections, and friendships they have made at Birmingham will last a lifetime. The University of Birmingham is known for producing great thinkers, change makers, and innovators. From Nobel Prize winners to sporting champions, this institution has shaped minds that go on to make a real difference in the world. Today's graduates are stepping into that legacy, ready to make their mark, whether they're heading into research, launching businesses, or, let's be honest, finally taking a proper break before the next adventure begins. From the Great Hall to the wider world, our graduates will carry the knowledge, ambition, and spirit of Birmingham in their next chapter. Wherever you're watching from, this is not just an ending. It is the beginning of something exceptional.